What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the nerd. So it looks like we're not going to get any kind of a smooth release for this Michael biopic, because we got more drama that's coming out about the biopic. And you know what? All I want is a teaser. All I want is a trailer.
I feel like that's a reasonable request.
That's all I wanted. I mean, I want promotion. The rumor stuff that they have coming out, you know, like it's going to be like a whole Jackson Mania thing's supposed to be coming out this year. New music, new documentaries. Todd's working on a documentary. A lot of new stuff's supposed to be coming out this year. And then you had like a little list. Once again, I gotta go.
Todd's working on a documentary for what?
Coming in hot.
Yeah. What do you mean? He's doing a documentary about his uncle. It was, the original title was called Rewriting History, but it has.
What is he doing it for?
Say what?
What is he doing it for?
Why? First of all,
Can't he?
You do know Michael and 3T were close, right?
And
you do know that. Which okay, so who you want to do?
Why is he like this?
Who do you want to do it, Marlon?
What is it for?
It's what you. Prime. You really can't be this ignorant. It's really about his uncle, talking about who his uncle was from history. Because there's been a lot of things. You know, Michael was accused of sexually assaulting 3T.
Did you see that music video they was in?
Why?
I'm joking.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm about to say that. Yeah, but look, Mike is very sensitive to the point that it's hard to joke about certain things. Because listen, there has been new things now because there's a report coming out from. So there's let's just get a little back. So there's this fella named it looks like it sounds baloney, Matthew Baloney, but it's really like Benoni. It looks like Belloni. How you pronounce it?
Baloney, probably.
Okay, sure. Well,
Baloney.
He really is. So he has a website called The Puck. He's an American entertainment journalist, podcast, and former attorney. Mm-hmm. And he has this thing called The Puck. So then on this website, he posted that the third act of this new MJ movie is going to be unusable because of
third act. That's a lot. Sorry.
Yeah, I said it's going to be unusable because of they bring up things about Jordan Chandler. And the 93 allegations and stuff like that. So now the movie is in jeopardy because now it's saying they're going to have to try to pay all this kind of money for reshoots and all these kind of things. And if it's going to be come out time, because it was supposed to come out in April, but now it's coming out in October, and it could be in jeopardy again. Now
I know the
I'm listening. Go ahead.
They said the reshoots are fully on the estate.
As if funding?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wild. That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
That's their fault.
Well, yeah, I'm like, if y'all didn't do your due diligence, then I would love to know the details of who dropped the ball, if anyone.
Now, once again, there have been some things that says that this guy is, you know, there's some shady stuff going on, that this stuff may not necessarily, this all could be basically fake news of what they're saying right here. Mm-hmm. Also, there are a lot of MJ forums and stuff like going around. There's a lot of things that, once again, you gotta be careful what you read out here also. But
yep,
you know, things have gone around saying that what this guy is doing is that they're trying to put a stop or take this part of the movie out, because when me and Prime was talking about, when Prime first sent me this, I said it don't make sense for a legal team, this is what they get paid for, to miss over that kind of information, knowing how much money is going into this project. Once again, now this is not, no disrespect, this is not Taj making this movie. No, and the reason why
I see what you mean.
Yeah, but
he don't have a whole legal team behind it.
Exactly. I mean, Taj had to go fund me up to help fund him for his documentary.
Yeah.
And he raised about $200,000. But I'm saying, but when you're dealing with stuff like, when you're dealing with these big movies, like Michael Jackson has never had a big movie production do a movie with him about his life. So when you're doing this stuff with all this kind of money, millions and millions of dollars, but the budget's like $155 million, you would like to think that they would comb over this with a comb, with a fine-tooth comb to make sure all the information, all the legal stuff is there. So how did they miss this one if what they're saying is true, right?
Especially since they've been writing it since 2019 or 2018. It's like,
because they have been writing this for a while.
Yeah, so you would assume that there would have been a team of lawyers go over at least the legal aspects of the script and the story.
But it's like his estate is behind it, and also his lawyer is a part. I think his lawyer is the head of the estate.
John Breaker.
So you a lawyer, yeah. So you're a lawyer, and you know what's in the documents. So how do you not know?
So one of the stories that came around here is that this guy Matthew Bologna had found the version of the script and leaked it to Dan Reed. For those who don't know who Dan Reed is the director of Leaving Neverland, which is the mockumentary that they tried to make with Michael Jackson accused of sexually assaulting James Safechuck and Wade Robson. Now, they got a case. People keep forgetting. They still have a case coming up this year, I believe. They was even trying to get the movie pushed back to have their case before the movie goes out. Okay? And this has been holding. Now, since then, Leaving Neverland has been removed from HBO. They don't play it anymore. They don't even have it on their streaming service. I don't, what I'm saying? If people who really want to go find that piece of shit, they got to go look for it, in other words. It's not there. But there's always been beef with this guy. And when I heard, when I was reading some things about what this movie consists of, because me and Pops talking about it, this movie is supposed to be like an anchor between that 93 allegation. Probably like how start with that, go backwards to come back to home. Yeah. Type thing. And when Coleman Domingo did an interview saying that this is going to be over 3 decades, me personally, I thought they was going to do like 80s, 90s, 2000s, 70s would be a blur.
I thought it would start from his, the start of his solo career, like when he took off, kind of a thing. Yeah,
that's what I thought. But it looks like, no, they want to give us the whole shebang, but, a lot of Michael's problems to this day, and people accuse him, mostly come from this 93 allegation. Because we can talk about the old things of it, but he went to court for that. They fought it, and he won that case. All 14 counts, he won that one. But this is the one that still hangs, because this is the one they always got to go back to, because it was that settlement that it was paid. So it's always that guilty look, which they explain why that happened the way it is. So when they brought in the characters of Derek Luke as Johnny Cochran and Miles Teller as John Blanca, I was like, you know what? I should have known that this would probably be the center. But here's what I think. I'm putting my tinfoil hat on. Okay, because I'm gonna go in a little conspiracy territory. So everything I'm saying right now is
alleged.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Cover your ass. Allegedly.
None of this shit is true. This is what I'm thinking is the thing. If you're going to tell the story about Michael's life and really want to show that that he's innocent, there's a documentary that I wanted y'all to see called Square One. That came out in 2019. This is not a 2006 documentary. This came out relatively recent. 2019, that breaks down everything from that 1993 allegation. And it breaks down all the court jargon that people don't truly understand of why the things had to be the way it was. There is an audio recording of Evan Chandler, which honestly, after I watched it, you can look up. You can find this online. A recording of him talking to, I don't know if it was his attorney.
Explain that is the child.
Yes,
it's his father, right?
You're right. Evan Chandler is Jordan Chandler's father, who is on the recording talking about how he's getting the nastiest attorney he can, and he wants to take Michael for all his money, and he wants to make his life a living nightmare because he feels as though that his affection from Michael has taken his son's affection from him. Which, by the way, Evan Chandler didn't care about his son in the first place.
Wasn't he also accused of like some sexually predatory behavior?
Yes, he was.
Okay.
Yes, he was. And him and his wife went out together. She was with somebody else. And then...
Oh, yes, right. He had a stepdad who was the reason he met Michael, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
He didn't even care about the child in the first place. And then when he was hanging out with Michael Jackson and all that stuff like that, especially because he was trying to be an inspired film writer, then he started getting back in, close into there. They try to become a father again. They try to want to get custody and stuff like that again. He says in all this recording, even when the guy was talking about his son, he had no care for his son at all. It was
because you have to put this child through all of this.
It was about the money. And I strongly believe they was going to play that in the movie. I strongly believe that if they would have that scene, because if you watch Square One, because once again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney, I don't really understand all the stuff more so. That's why I wanted you to watch it with me, because you can help explain some of this stuff to me.
Okay.
And because it explains the reason why they had to settle out of court because of the games that they were playing, because this was never a criminal trial. It was a civil trial. I strongly believe that if they play this recording and they really can showcase the innocence that Michael has from the Jordan Chandler thing, Wade Robinson and James Safechuck's Leaving Neverland, whatever they're trying to get, will kind of like fall apart.
So basically, if they have audio evidence that this may have been a setup, and none of these things happen, even like torn his reputation, hanging over his head, basically until he died, then they would be able, especially if that comes out, and then that ends up having to. Now, I don't know what the details of the settlement are. That might be what they're talking about in the article, where they can't use it, because if there was a settlement, it could have been something put in there that said, if we give you the settlement, this can't be discussed by either party at any point.
I think it says in the settlement they can't use both of them as likeness or anything for like a story, anything involving Michael Jackson.
And I could see that, but even if if that audio comes out and now you have it out in a movie and it's a public record thing, I could see how what you're saying, it would really tarnish their case.
Yeah.
Because again, if it's a civil matter and it was, everything was sealed, then they can't bring that up in their case.
Yeah.
But if you put it out there,
and that's what I'm saying, because
then you towing the line.
Because all this go ahead, Brian.
No, I'm gonna say honestly, I'm gonna just be honest. You can easily just change the names of those people and just have somebody redo the lines that they say in the audio clip, and you won't have any lawsuit trouble.
Yeah, but see, it's hard to do that when you don't deal with a biopic, though.
Yeah, you don't want to, because then it calls everything else.
You can just change it. They will know why they changed names. Like in some of the biopics that, like the new edition biopics, some of the names are different for lawsuit reasons.
Yeah, but they don't know those people. This is a big Like everybody, if you follow Michael Jackson, or if you follow the case,
so
if you were alive in the 90s,
just
a alive in the 90s, basically, right?
Just a question though: if they do change the name for just so that they don't get sued, that still is still going to like show the purpose of what they were trying to get over and still get the point across.
It's because first of all, if we're watching the movie, right?
And they did that in Queen too.
Say what?
They did that in Queen too.
Okay.
The Queen
once
movie.
Again, I don't know the parts that we're talking about in Queen because I got to know more of the story.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. This Michael Jackson thing is so known all over there. Because this is where the stuff started from. This is what people still kind of accuse him for and judge him for. Now it goes back to this case. So this has all been public. This is all in everybody's face. Like I said, you can go online right now and hear this audio clip. You can go watch Square One right now. It's free of charge. You can go watch on Amazon Prime. The question is, how many people are doing that? If you don't have any interest in looking at it, you don't want to look at it, you got other things to do because it's more important things to deal with than Michael Jackson. Fine, but I guarantee what you will do, you'll go see a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll go see a movie, you'll go pay because movies are more entertaining. And then that Mike has the impact to touch billions of people across the world. That will get out way quicker than any of this other stuff that is on public record right now for you to go out there and see.
I don't think they'll actually play the actual audio clip though.
You don't think they'll play the actual audio right now to help make their point in this movie?
Not in the movie, no.
If they can't legally, no, they won't.
Or if they can't legally,
no. But I'm saying, even if they could, I don't think they. I was just thinking that they'll have.
But they would allude to it. So if you allude to it, wouldn't that necessarily make the curiosity mind, like when they leave and go check the internet, like, oh, this thing is on the internet, we can go just check this out right now?
I don't know. I feel like still in this case, because of what ended up happening with him, you are teetering on distasteful because he ended up unaliving himself. Mm-hmm. It could become a thing where it's like, okay, well, y'all toss this man into the... I mean, if he did it, he did it. Mm-hmm. If he said that, he said that. I mean,
yeah.
But it could look like y'all tossing this dead man under the bus for the sake of saving his reputation. Which, again, if he said that, he said that. Like I always say, just because you did it don't mean you turn into a saint. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's not do that. But it could go either way. People have done things thinking it will work in their favor, it ends up backfiring.
Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like maybe this was like I don't want to say a safety precaution because that's not the word I would necessarily use, but maybe it was a thing like, oh, you guys, I don't know what this is going to be. Because, again, if you get a version of the script, who knows if that's the final cut that he supposedly saw.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all, I don't know. This might not be looking good for y'all. If this is what they talking about and they spelling it out in a movie, y'all could... It could really mess up your case. Mm-hmm. Even if there wasn't, like, in the script that there is, you know... they play the audio or transcript of the audio or whatever the case. And also it depends on how deep they're getting into the case. It could have been a surface level thing. But now they got to play it safe because nobody knows until we get a teaser. Yeah. Or they have a screening for it to see, kind of like how we went to see the musical.
Yes.
And they didn't say the boy's name.
But they alluded
to the fact that there was a family that was supposed to be coming with them on the Dangerous tour while they were doing the rehearsal that is the setup for the whole musical. He didn't say the name. He didn't say anything about allegation, nothing. They had the thing during the musical about the tabloids and some accusations starting to come out, and they just touched on it. If they do something similar, but they actually say his name, then that could be problematic. So it might not even be as deep because we don't know until we see it.
We don't know, yeah.
But they could just be trying to save their ass. Because listen, there have been many salacious and controversial documentaries and things that come out, but they don't, unless the the streaming service or the company that produced it is trying to save face, they don't usually take it down. Surviving R. Kelly is still up.
Yeah.
So if they in the middle of an ongoing legal battle and they had to take it down, and they're concerned that this might, even if it doesn't tank the case, it might hurt the case, because again, once you're convicted in a court of public opinion, that it's kind of hard to sway, because when you have a jury, they're supposed to be impartial, but you can't count on anybody to be completely impartial if they have been, if they've seen this media.
Yeah.
Whether they've seen the original documentary, the Leaving Neverland documentary, whether they go see this movie, whether they've watched something like Square One, whether they just went and did research themselves. It's kind of hard to count on that. So, and again, I don't know if this is a civil case, I'm guessing, with the Leaving Neverland.
I think,
so it might not even be like a jury, but still, anybody can be biased or have a hard time being impartial to the facts, quote unquote. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I'm wondering. I feel like it would have been a huge oversight if nobody on either one of these legal teams, whether it's the movie studio, whether it's the estate, nobody's legal team said, did anybody double check and make sure we can discuss this? That just seems...
Shit, to be honest with you, I didn't even cut you off. As soon as I hear about a Michael Jackson film, that's the first thing I'm thinking of, to be honest with you. If you want to tell a story right, knowing what the court of public opinion is, that's the first thing I'm going to get right.
Yeah, I feel like...
That's the first thing I'm going to get right.
The liability attached to doing something like this, whether it is the film production, like the integrity of the film budget, I feel like a lot rides on that for y'all for that to slip through the cracks. It just seems odd.
It does. Especially when the legal team is the one that's kind of almost in charge of the movie to begin with.
So, is this a thing, like, in your personal opinion? Do y'all think it's a thing, it's like, it'll come out like, this is all kind of bullshit, or they really will be doing reshoots, or we're going to go as scheduled, and hopefully...
Well, they are doing reshoots.
Huh?
They are doing reshoots, but I don't know if it's for that reason. They probably are doing...
But see, them reshoots is budget, because every movie recently, mostly, always schedule time and budget for reshoots now.
I'm saying those... sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say no. Like, they are shooting reshoots. I don't. The reshoots that I think they doing are just regular scenes. Like, I know they not gonna transform this whole building into the record store again. They not gonna make a whole Toys R Us again or whatever. So I know they're not doing those big scenes. But for the little scenes, I think they probably need to do a lot of reshoots. If they trying to do like reshoots and do like a full set where they gotta make a whole building, then that's gonna take a lot of money. But just a couple scenes here and there, that should be okay.
I mean, this could all also, just like if you've ever been involved in any kind of legal process, it is long and arduous, and there are different tactics to push and push and push. Just like somebody could be like, as soon as a court date comes up, I fired my legal team, I need more time. And they keep doing it and keep doing it. This could very well be that. They could delay it just to go over all the legal ramifications and make sure they are within their right to talk about it. And if they are, maybe we will just get the movie when we were supposed to in October. Yeah. Now, I could see, because you got to make sure that if you are going to have to do reshoots, like to the extent where he's talking about where you have to rebuild sets and things like that, you also have to make sure your actors are available, because they technically fulfilled their contractual obligations. Exactly. If they've done the reshoots you set aside and everything else, if they go start another project, then what?
Then we get the Henry Cavill Justice League thing all over again.
I say now you are going back and forth with them, which is creating more chaos. But sometimes that's what people want. That might be what all of this was for, to create chaos and confusion. and then be like, okay, well, this will push the movie till 2026, and then we have more time to figure out how. You never know. So I think that eventually we'll either get a teaser, like how we were saying it, maybe it would be the Super Bowl, or maybe it would be when it was supposed to come out, or sometime around like his birthday or his death date.
Yeah.
And that will, if we don't get those, because I don't know, I don't see them making a well, they could make a statement and say like we're gonna have to push it back again, but I don't see them saying anything unless there is a major delay or change.
I don't know. I think in my heart, I think they're gonna probably try to move on as scheduled. Because right now, not only that they gotta get to marketing out there. You gotta now once again, is Michael Jackson a hard sell? No, the fans will go out there and do. They're gonna see the stuff. But if you got all this stuff planned up, if you want to try to come out with new music, if you want to try to come out with new documentaries, the say that they did for Luther, they kept building up. I was like, well, when the fuck am I going to see it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they even released that music that he didn't release himself.
Exactly. But you know, it's a lot of that.
Listen.
You know, it's a lot of that.
You know the hill I stand on.
Yeah.
Please stop releasing these people's stuff posthumously. If they wanted it out there, it'd have been out there.
It'd have been out there. So yeah, no.
I mean, I will say Christopher Reeve did have a good documentary. That's all I'm saying.
I saw it. It was really good. Yeah. I definitely did see it.
I don't think that counts as a like putting something out posthumously. Like if they were working on a documentary about something.
His family's in there. So
yeah, I'm talking about music artists where it's like stuff they left in the production in the room. It was left in the studio, and we wasn't supposed to hear it. And they like, you know what we can do? Scrape together an album. No, we can't. Just like another thing. Writers too, because they just released a Zora Neale Hurston book. Do you know how long Zora Neale Hurston has been dead? A very long time. But they just released like a new book. Yeah. And I'm like, did she have this like in the vault? And y'all was like, well, we could make some money off of this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's cool. Look, all I'm saying is y'all out there. It close. This is only the tipping point. The closer we get to this movie, the more time we see a teaser, the more bullshit, the more drama, the more stuff we're going to get, because that's how it goes. That's the MJ name's going to be popular again. The MJ name's going to create money again. So the more you're going to hear, and the crazy going to. I'm just like, look, if y'all really want to go information, I actually recommend y'all go check out that Square One documentary if y'all have not done that already. That will, especially when also that they talk about in the 93, that will really, and they talk about the 2003 trial also, but I'm saying it mostly heavily focused on the 93 stuff, and you gonna find some information. All this stuff is public document. That's right now, and it really breaks the whole thing down in a way that for me to even understand.
Which one was that? Which court was that they raided his house?
The raid you're thinking of is the one in 2003.
Okay, so I do know that's gonna be in the movie.
Maybe not.
I'm saying I know that one's gonna be in the movie for sure.
Because they
could it be the one from 93?
I'm saying they raided. They
made the tape.
They raided his house in 93 also. But the difference between 93 and 03 was he knew about the 93 one.
And he had to do the pictures and everything.
Yeah,
right?
It's nothing he could do about it. 2003.
Oh, you know what?
He ain't know nothing about that one.
It might be that one then, because which one is the one where they was like taking pictures of him?
93.
That's a 93.
It's 93.
Okay, so it might be that one. Because for some reason, I seen this movie. It was a movie biopic type of thing. And that's how it started. It was like, take off your pants and take a picture. He was like, okay. And then it went, I guess it was a biopic about that trial.
It was a I know what you're talking about. It was a Michael Jackson documentary that they had on one of them channels.
Like real. It was a
yeah.
And probably was I don't know what it was. I just know it was like people acting.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was one of the documentaries that they had the reenactments type in there.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's gonna be interesting. But once again, the more drops will come. But I do recommend y'all go to educate yourselves. I recommend that y'all go check the documentary out. It's really well done. And like I said, I figured my wife would like, because my wife, like I said, like a lot of true crime stuff. And it has a very true crime laid out type feel to it. So I was just like, yeah, I still want you to watch it.
Yeah. I saw like the bits and pieces when it was on, but I didn't see it like from beginning to end.
Yeah, I know it's, y'all gonna know she gonna hate me, but I'm going to force her to watch it. Hey, Prime, you gotta watch. You need to watch it too.
Silence is loud.
Well, I'm telling you, getting y'all to do homework it just be hard as hell. Don't be having Q-Flow out here out doing y'all for homework, okay? Y'all just can't have it.
Wait, what happened?
Never mind.